All right, guys. So I know we're all a little bit mad about the Jaguars right now, but we do have a game on Sunday, whether you like it or not. So let's get it. Shout out to this video's sponsor, BetUS. Guys, as bad as the Jaguars have been, the Jaguars are still 3-point favorites in London against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not sure if I'm going to put any money on this one. I will give you guys a prediction at the end of the video as to my real thoughts on it. But, over at BetUS, there's all different other kinds of wagers that you can put on there. Whether it be the Jaguar game or maybe you don't really have any interest in a primetime game, so you guys want to make that a little bit interesting. There's all different kinds of things you can put some money down on. And with this promo code down below, use my link. They're going to give you 125% bonus deposit. So if you put $100 down, BetUS is going to put $225 into your account to make any kind of wager that you guys may be interested in. So shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. Now, with that said, let's get on to the preview. Now, for this one, I do have a video collaboration. I'm going to play it for you guys here. I collabed with the Heavy Hitters. I was on their live stream last night, and I'll go ahead and insert their clip into this video.
Hey, what's going on, people? Your boy Mad Mike from Mad Mike Sports, the Heavy Hitters. This is for UCF Jaguar. I appreciate you joining us last night on the show. Did a wonderful job, but I want to kind of get into the strengths and weaknesses of the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons right now, I think, obviously the offensive line is not protecting well. You got Caleb McGarry, Drew Dahlman, a rookie, and Matt Bergeron not looking good. They don't have a lot of chemistry up front. But when you have a guy like Jake Matthews, Chris Lindstrom, those guys are the top and the best of the best as far as offensive lineman is concerned. In my opinion, I think Chris Lindstrom is the best guard in the league, but that's debatable. The run game, all right. The run game is just an elite running game. When we decide that we want to run the ball, Tyler Algier he's the guy that sets the tone. He gets everything going. He sets it, the physicality tool as far as Bijan Robinson. I think he's a terrific athlete. We use him in the Joker role, out on screens. Use a lot of outside zone running plays with him just to hit the ball in his hands so he can use his athleticism. Drake London has been a little bit inconsistent this year as far as his route running is concerned. He has the tendency to kind of get lose his footing, but once he is comfortable and he's in his bag, Drake London is a monster. So I don't know if the Jaguars, as far as their corners, are going to be able to keep up with him. Kyle Pitts, I think he has a little bit of an injury issue as far as his mental is concerned. I don't think he's mentally back and confident in that knee. We'll see, but he's been a little lackadaisical as far as his route running is concerned. But once he begins to get it, Kyle Pitts is just a monster. Maybe and hopefully this is the game where he gets this against you guys. But weaknesses for the Atlanta Falcons. Defensively, I don't see a ton of weaknesses outside of these guys. They have a tendency to kind of miss easy tackles and over pursue as far as the edge is concerned. So the Falcons kind of keep that acclimated. We lost Troy Anderson for the season with a torn pectoral, so he's going to be out. Caden Ellis has been an absolute pleasant surprise for us at linebacker. Nate Landman actually played well in his first game when Troy Anderson was out with concussion protocol. Jesse Bates is just an absolute animal. Richie Grant is a guy that you can take advantage of. He kind of gets out of position, so he's a guy to kind of take advantage of if you want to kind of use your tight end and use those slot receivers and attack him. I think that's a weakness that Jacksonville can exploit, especially with the tight ends with Richie Grant. But all in all, man, I think this is going to be a very good game for the Atlanta Falcons and the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's all come down to who can put pressure on the young quarterback. So the Falcons can get pressure and get sacks against Sunshine. Trevor Lawrence, I think he'll be, the Falcons will come away with it. But if the Falcons cannot protect Desmond Ridder, he's a young quarterback. He has not found his way. the Atlanta Falcons are going to have a long day. But the Falcons must get back to running the ball. Let me know what you guys think about this. This is for you, UCF Jaguar. I appreciate you guys for joining us at the Heavy Hitters, Matt Mike Sports, Atlanta Falcons Nation, Six Man K Style, Jew Talk Sports. Thank you.
So shout out to those guys over at the Heavy Hitters. Now, let's talk about this game, man. Now, gosh, there was so much hype behind the Jaguars this year. So much hype. And it's crazy because the Jaguars, in a matter of 2 weeks, have just sucked so much enthusiasm out of us. And, I really realized that when I was on YouTube today and I saw that the Jaguars released a 38-minute hunt video. I am like, I'm not watching that. Like, I love these hunt videos. It's great production, but I don't know what the heck the Jaguars are putting together for 38 minutes, but I know that they ain't winning right now. So it's like, I'll refrain from the rah-rah, from the lovey-dovey Jaguars type of content until, they put on a winning record, a winning output on Sunday. I'm just joking. I'll probably watch it at some time, but it doesn't mean I have to enjoy it. Now, with this game, we'll start with the injuries, man. Devin Lloyd randomly had thumb surgery, so he's going to be out this Sunday, as well as the corresponding Sunday. He did not travel to London. But luckily for us, Trent Baalke has drafted 50 different linebackers the last couple drafts. So we have Chad Muma, third-round pick, waiting to go. So he's going to get the start on Sunday for the Jaguars. Zay Jones is apparently a long shot to play Sunday, so expect instead of Zay Jones, Tim Jones on Sunday. And then some guys that were limited in practice is Antonio Johnson. Maybe he makes his Jaguar debut on Sunday. Also Josh Allen and Andrew Wingard, both with shoulders. And then, Anton Harrison as well as Foley Fatukasi were all limited at practice. So I would probably expect at least Josh Allen, Wingard, Anton Harrison, and Foley Fatukasi to play. Now, we've all discussed what's wrong with the Jaguars. We all know just all the different things that are going on. But overall, from a macro point of view, man, this is a big Doug Peterson game, man. I mean, look, last week, offense, defense, special teams, none of them came prepared. And, we got to get this team into a better mind space, because when all three units don't play up to par and almost look like they're sleepwalking through the game, that lies on the head coach, man. And I do love Doug Peterson, but, he's got to search it deep within him and figure out how the heck this team's going to get prepared, because, last week was absolutely embarrassing at home against the division rival. And, I think we need to start holding some people accountable, man. Like, I feel like these different players are making mistakes and nothing's happening when it comes to, replacing them. Like, for example, Ben Bartch has been like the worst player on the offense. He's been just awful at left guard. If he goes out there and he sucks for 2-3 series, I'm benching him for Shatley. Just set the example, because look, next week, Cam Robinson will be back. So Walker Little will be left guard, and, Cam Robinson will probably be left tackle. And then, I think that's going to strengthen our offensive line a lot. So go put out the example. If Ben Bartch starts playing like ass, then replace him with Tyler Shatley. Same like defensive wise. If a player isn't, like I would say Devin Lloyd, but he's already out, so we're gonna replace him with Muma. But just different things like that, man. Like, guys have to start playing up to par, or else they risk losing their job. Like, even Andy Reid is over there benching Jawan Taylor after paying him a bunch of money. So no player, should be safe from that. And look, the big question about this game is, like, offensively, like, how do you handle Calvin Ridley? Like, I don't really know. Now, last game he was a liability. Look, 2 false starts on offense. He had a couple of really bad drops, and like I said, that first drive he had that touchdown catch where he should have caught it, and the Jags would have been up 7-0. The Jags wound up being down 17-0 at the half. If he makes that catch, it's probably a lot different game. Like, this game flow things are huge, and the drops and the false starts. Like, I guess this dude really is rusty, but they need to find a way to get him acclimated to the offense. Maybe start off with an immediate bubble screen to him, get him a little bit loose. I don't know how to handle a guy like him, but look, he's an extremely good talent, and Trevor Lawrence likes looking at him, man. And he should look when Patrick Mahomes is under duress, he looks at Travis Kelce. Justin Herbert lately has been looking at Keenan Allen. These guys have their favorite receivers that they trust to get open. That needs to be Calvin Ridley. He needs to be trusted because we're playing him like a number one wide receiver. But to be a number one wide receiver, you have to execute. You have to make the catches. You have to do all that. Look, you're going against your former team. It'd be a really, really good time to get a get-right game for Calvin Ridley. Now, I also think, look, with Trevor Lawrence, look, I have been hard on him, and I've also made excuses for him. He has missed some opportunities, but he's far from the worst problem on the Jaguars. Actually, I think PFF, I saw something on Twitter where he's ranked as the 10th best offensive player so far this year. It's just because they factor in drop catches and big plays that he makes that should be catches, and he hasn't been bad, but. Look, I think this game, it's time for Trevor to go off, man. Time to go outside the X's and O's. And I think the offense, the offensive play calling and stuff, they need to help him out. Look, move the pocket a little bit. If the interior is bad, try to get him to roll out a little bit. You guys, we love the run this year. We're run. Why don't we set up a little bit of play action off of that? Try to threaten downfield a little bit. I would start doing downfield early and often. I'll be honest with you. Set the tone early instead of later when you're down 10, you're expected to throw downfield. And just try to get him in a rhythm, man. Protect this quarterback because, look, the stats show that he is very, very good when he's not pressured, but not very good when he's under pressure. So we have to find a way to protect him. It's not asking that much for the offensive line to at least give him some clean pockets to be able to deliver some strikes. So, offensive line, they have to look at each other and say, hey, let's not be a bunch of freaking bitches and go out here and actually play some football, okay? We're getting pushed around. We're getting bullied by the other defense. Time to nut up and actually play, okay? Offensive line, they need to be better, and they need to establish their dominance because right now they look soft as hell. I'll be completely honest with you. Now, defensively, I don't know what to expect out of the defense. Look, and I'll be honest, when I was looking back on the season, I really wasn't expecting much out of the defense. Look, I was honestly kind of expecting the defense to be kind of meh, but look, the first two games are pretty encouraging by the defense. I liked what I saw from the first two games, but last game, the defense was really, really bad. And look, going into that game, CJ Stroud was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, and the Jaguars couldn't get a single sack on him with Houston Texans backups. It's just crazy. So defensively, it's going to be a tough game for him. Look, the Falcons have a good O-line. I mean, they didn't have a very good game last week, but they have a good offensive line for the most part. They got good playmakers, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Mac Hollins catching the ball. They also have, first-round pick Bijan Robinson, great running back, also has over 100 yards receiving on the year, great player. Tyler Algier, the running game kind of goes through him. Really, really good two-headed running back duo. But what's holding back their offense? It's probably Desmond Ridder, their quarterback. Look, his stats aren't great, and I don't know really a lot about him. I haven't watched many Atlanta Falcons game. I do know a lot. I know a decent amount of him because he whooped UCF's butt every year, but at the end of the day, the Falcons invested a third-round pick in him, so it's not like a sunk cost like the Jets trying to ship out, Zach Wilson out there every week, but just got to draw pressure. Got to get pressure on a guy, make this guy feel uncomfortable, and hopefully that'll force some errant throws on his end. So I guess my prediction for this game, look, it's time for the Jaguars to play bully ball, man. The team has just been awful the last couple of weeks, and they look like they've had no pulse. And look, Doug Peterson alluded to them reading press clippings. Okay, if you're going to read the press clippings when you're good and it's going to demotivate you, why don't you read the press clippings this week when everyone's calling you awful and when people are saying you look bad and when you're dropping to the middle of the ranks in the power rankings? Why don't you read them this week when everyone says you look like trash, okay? Use that as a little bit of motivation. And look, if the Jaguars lose this game, they drop to 1-3 with the Bills coming up. So if the Jaguars don't use this as a great advantage to go 2-2, nice solid 2-2, and they go 1-3 instead, then this season could unravel quickly. And look, we as Jag fans, we may not know what it's like to be a winning team, but we know what the road from 1-5 looks like. You know what I mean? It's not pretty. I'll just say that. So my prediction for this game, look, I'm going to choose the Jaguars to win this game and to cover. You know why? Because I mentally cannot take a loss. I can't fathom the Jaguars going 1-3 at this point in the season with all this hope that I have, look, this is a very, very biased take. I don't care. Don't use me as a reason to go put money on the Jaguars covering and whatnot. Just know that I am a heartbroken Jaguars fan right now. I want better things from the Jaguars. And look, I think that we have the playmakers there. It's not like we have this overwhelming thing holding us back. We've seen the O-line play good. We know we have receivers that play well. Etienne's a great running back. And look, Trevor Lawrence, I think, is a really, really good quarterback. So, I think that if we can just get this offense in sync, then we can make some stuff roll. So, yeah, I'm choosing the Jags to win because I will cry if they don't. So, with that said, I will be live streaming this one at 9:30 a.m. I'll also be live a little bit before on the PSF app. I'll mention that a little bit later. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a thumbs up and go Jags.